Hey guys, it's Charlie and welcome to Tech Dot. Now behind me is the iMac from 2017 with a 4K Retina display, 2.3 GHz with a Core i5. Now we're going to be talking about my use of this computer for 2 years and a couple months, and I'm going to be telling you whether or not it's a good purchase in 2020. Now, with me using this computer for 2 years and a couple months, it's been an amazing switch from Windows to OS X. I wasn't really an Apple fanboy until now. I have the AirPods, I have the iPhone X, and I also have the iMac. And the way that the ecosystem combines itself is really amazing. As well as that, I do quite a lot of creative work. I use Photoshop, I edit videos, especially for the channel. With that, I use Final Cut Pro. And what I was noticing is once I started to use this computer, my editing started to improve because the editing software was more intuitive. I started noticing that I got a little bit better at Photoshop with like different manipulation of different things, which is also really amazing. So I think if you really are one of those creative people or you have an enterprise, then it's a good choice because ultimately it just helps with workflow. And I'm not going to lie to you and say that iMac outperforms a lot of Windows machines, because that is not true. iMacs actually use pretty dated hardware. Although they're powerful hardware, it's just the software is what keeps it alive. So with Windows, it's quite resource intensive, but the iMac really makes use of its ecosystem and its whole operating system. The operating system is what keeps it fluid, and the operating system is also what keeps it really smooth, and it makes the experience of a Mac way better than a Windows machine. And that is mainly because of, over the past couple years, I noticed that Windows machines would usually tend to get slow after about 2 years, and I've not noticed any performance differences in my iMac so far, apart from once in OS X Catalina, sometimes apps take longer to load, but that is mainly just because when you update apps, it starts to take and require more storage, which then makes it slower. But other than that, that is the only difference I've noticed so far, because the software continues to make it feel like new hardware. So people might argue and say Windows machines are cheaper, but with that comes, you get the longevity of the machine, especially with an iMac. So that is really my personal preference, and that is also my personal opinion. But I would recommend this computer to basically anyone that uses it for workflow. Of course you can use Windows, of course. I'm not saying you can't, because you definitely can. But I would say that using Windows and OS X is a completely different experience. So you've got to find what one you more enjoy, what one will help you with your workflow and things like that. Even if you're just using it for general browsing, it's a bit overkill just because how much they cost, but you could easily get a cheap laptop. But even for general web browsing and things like that, it's still an amazing product, and I would basically recommend it to anybody that needs an iMac. But if you need a Windows machine, of course get a Windows machine. I'm not telling you to go out and buy an iMac necessarily, I'm just saying it's good for what I've been using it for the past 2 years. So with that being said guys, it's been Charlie and I'm out. Peace.